Well, hello, fellow constitutionalists, and I want to talk to you today about Let America Vote. They are a George Soros-backed group. Let America Vote. They're on Facebook, they're on Twitter, they have their own, I don't know if they have their own YouTube channel, I haven't really checked that far. I don't know if I could stand watching the lies that pour out of a video, let alone everything that I read on social media about them, but they are indirectly supported by George Soros. George Soros Open Society nonprofit actually funds, or they get some of their funds. I don't know how much, and I didn't go into detail. I just know that they're on Open Society's list as a funding project. So Let America Vote is supported by George Soros, and if you know who George Soros is, he's one of the most anti-freedom Americans that you can ever see or will ever meet, read about, or anything like that. So it stands to reason that any group that he actually talks about or supports is anti-freedom also. Now, I have this story from the Gateway Pundit, Jim Hoft. It was posted on August 6th, and the headline of the story is 10 of 11 California counties with more registered voters than voting age adults are Democrat. Now, that's not to say that the Republican county there doesn't have some skullduggery going on, because it has also more reported voters, registered voters than adult voters of adult age, as the article says. So as you can see in this graph here, on the left-hand side, Judicial Watch has gotten hold of the records, the voting records, stuff like that, through Freedom of Information Act. And let me go down in the bottom of this story here I have on my other computer here. The Secretary of State, Alex Padilla, is not cooperating with the Trump administration at all, and he's saying why. He says he doesn't want to add to the problem. He said what the Trump administration is doing would only serve to legitimize the false and already debunked claims of massive voter fraud. Now, I don't know who's debunked them, because in my mind they haven't been debunked, because they're still floating around out there. I find them maybe not on a daily basis, but at least a weekly basis. There's a young man in Virginia that was put in jail because of voter fraud. He was registering dead people. He's serving time for that. So there's voter fraud there. There's other reports that are coming out from decent research folks like Harvard University and other places that are, they're actually finding voter fraud, and it needs to be looked into. And this graph here, looky here, folks. This graph here shows that it's rampant in California. When you have counties like San Diego County that has 138% registration in the county, that's 38% higher than 100 if all the voting age adults were registered. And I don't know anywhere, folks, and I haven't researched this deeply, but I haven't come across anywhere yet we have any, and I'm just going to stick on county levels, that the county has every adult above the age 18 that's legally allowed to vote is registered. I know 2 or 3 people just in my sphere alone that lives in Northumberland County that aren't registered, never voted. So you can't tell me that there's 100% participation in every county. I don't think there's a county in the country that there is. And then you have this just abnormality out in California, where you have these voting rates or these registered rates are above 100% of the registered voters. So not only is this skullduggery going on, it's going on in spades out in California. And Hillary Clinton, and this is what Judicial Watch has come up with their numbers that they were looking at here. Hillary Clinton's tainted votes are over 5 million, 5.2, almost 5.3 million tainted votes. And Trump has about 1.4 million tainted votes out there also. So you have to subtract them from each one of their total votes. And just the tainted votes with Hillary alone would change the landscape, or make it very close on the landscape for the popular vote. That Donald Trump says that all this skullduggery went on and wasn't put in check. So Mr. Padilla out in California is lying to people because he calls this voter fraud has been debunked. I don't know who's debunked it, because it has not been debunked yet. What has been debunked is the lie about voter fraud, because it's going on, and governments It's not only individuals, folks. Let me make this clear. It's not only individuals that are actually creating this problem. It is actually governments, county governments. You know, the clerk of courts, or, you know, voting, wherever you go to register for voting and stuff like that, they are participating in this fraud. They're absolutely participating in this fraud, and they need to be held accountable too. So it's not just individuals, it's actual local governments that are participating and advancing voter fraud. Because when you got numbers like this, like out in California, 11 counties have more registered voters in their counties than there are adults living there of voting age. And I'm telling you right now, if everything was apple pies and rainbows and there was no voter fraud going on, you would not have 100% of the voting age voters registered in any county across America. I'd be surprised if I'd find one. And I stand to be corrected on that, but I don't think you're going to find that. Folks, these are just my thoughts on voter fraud. And remember, it's Let America Vote, a George Soros-backed group. And that's all you have to know. If you don't like George Soros, and I just said this is a George Soros-backed group, that's all you have to know. So, folks, if you like these videos, if you like what I'm talking about here in these videos, and you want to help me out, please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. Okay? And leave some comments. Let me know why you don't like it or why you do like it, so I can continue to improve myself. I'm Dan Clements, your Constitution Warrior, and have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video.